My name is Junior, and I'm from the Big D, Dallas, Texas.
What?
Yeah. I'm here seeking $500,000 in exchange for 10% equity stake in my business, Toor. As you know, buying a home should be fun and exciting. It's time-consuming and frustrating. Imagine you're driving down the street, trying to look for that perfect property, and you spot one. Now what? You can call an agent and wait days for an appointment, or even worse, wait weeks for an open house. Wouldn't it be great if you could tour that property right there on the spot? Toor is the first lockbox that allows buyers and sellers to access the lockbox with or without an agent.
Wow.
Barbara, I know you've opened some doors in your career. I'd love some help.
Sure.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
She pulls it up on the Toor app. She immediately sends a request. The seller approves her showing, and immediately Barbara is able to tour the property. So Barbara, simply walk up to the box, press the power button until you see that color wheel. Okay, now simply press open on the app. Now the
That's the
lockbox
coolest
opens
part.
up. Okay.
That's
She'll
the
grab the
coolest
keys,
part.
tour the property on her own or with a realtor.
I feel like a winner.
Now, once you're done, put the keys back in the lockbox
Okie dokie.
and simply press close on the app. There you go. Give it a second, and it'll close right up. The seller gets a notification saying Barbara's completed her tour, and now Barbara can leave feedback and be on her way. Thank you so much.
Nice handshake.
Thank you.
Nice suit.
Thank you.
All right, so I have a lot to say on this topic. Thanks. Oh man, who recommended this video? It was just recommended the other night. Oh, Mo Fitz. Mo Fitz, thank you so much for reaching out in the chat. We were doing the post Shark Tank live stream here, where I was playing some games, waiting for the videos to finish uploading and all that, and recommended that I watch this video. And I do have a lot to say about it because one of my closest friends became a real estate agent in 2020, as probably a lot of people you probably know went and did during that time period. It seemed like everybody was trying to become a real estate agent. I even dabbled with the thought of doing it, but I was like, I don't really love it, and it's just not for me. So, but I do have a lot of thoughts on it because I talk with him almost daily, helping him, make business decisions and things like that for his real estate business, as well as doing his photography for his show, for his houses that he sells. So it's been a journey. I've learned a ton myself on this journey, through him. And the problem is real estate agents, at least here in New Jersey. Maybe it's different in other states because I don't know about other states. But in New Jersey, at the very least, if the real estate agent isn't with you when you go to take that tour, open houses are maybe a little bit on the different side, right? Like you could probably get away going to an open house and not having a real estate agent with you. But if you go and did something like this with Toor, you're gonna run the risk of if you do have a real estate agent, almost a travel agent, not allowing them to be able to get their percentage for their cut of the deal, because it's like, oh well, they're not really involved with the deal. Why, the selling real estate agent will be like, well, why would I give up that? Why am I giving up that percentage to them? They didn't show up. They didn't tour the house with you as a one-on-one. The other issue I see here is like, this works if it's a property that somebody's not actively living in or actively renting to tenants. If you're living in it, it's I don't know. You want to get the phone call and make the decision. Do we get out of the house? Do we not get out of the house? Obviously they could decline it, but then you have this whole like somebody standing at your front door with the expectation that they should be able to just hit a button and you magically let them into the house. I don't know. I think it works for sale by owner. I think that it could work. It could work just for real estate agents to not have to get the code or whatever and be more digital. But the thing about that is once you introduce, and I'm all for tech, I should have a tech channel, honestly. And if I had more hours in the day, I probably would. But if you know, anytime you introduce technology into the mix, things can go wrong. And as a one-off, like, you know, Barbara just driving by, oh, there's a house, let me go check that out. That's fine if the tech doesn't work, but when the tech doesn't work, and I'm sure there's probably some kind of backup plan for it to be unlocked, hopefully remotely, because otherwise you have that issue of like, hey, I can't get into the thing. I can't see the property. And right now, I mean, look, this in 2020 going forward, I mean, there's so little inventory out there in the real estate market that nobody's waiting for anything. So like, I kind of get the idea, but I don't know. I don't love it. But we're gonna check out see how Toor's doing online today, as well as see if there's any social media, and go from there, as well as feature one of your comments from down below in the super community at the end of this video.
Junior, while it's fresh on my mind,
Yes.
what happens if the person who just gave the tour does not redeposit the key but closes it anyway?
If that key is removed for a set period of time that you, the seller, sets, you get a notification if that key is not put back. The beauty of our product is that you, the seller, you get to determine what type of showing you want in your house. So if you want an agent present, you simply require an agent present.
That's very cool.
Oh,
Because
okay.
normally you have to wait, you have to find
Absolutely.
somebody, they have to go get a key
You
back
got
at
it.
the office,
You got
etc.
it. You got it.
Junior, numbers. How much have you sold?
Yeah, so zero.
Oh,
Zero
You're
sales.
killing me.
It's because we're brand new. But fortunately, we
Do
had
you want your punishment now?
we had a successful Kickstarter campaign. We actually sold over 800 boxes, raising over $100,000. So we have
Wow.
over $100,000 in pre-sales.
How much are you selling them for?
So the lockbox itself is $199,
What does it cost you to make them?
$50, and then $75 delivered to the customer.
I'm very curious what you
I'm curious if, before we get to the background, what is there a monthly fee? Like I mean, that's, you know, good margins, but I don't know what a normal lockbox would cost. If I had to guess, maybe $30 to $50, somewhere in that range. The zero sales thing really kind of stings. And 100,000 in sales, I think as a Kickstarter is nice, but I kind of feel like it should have been higher because there's a lot of real estate agents out there. And this was in 2014, I believe. This is season 8, episode 8. And in 2014, I mean, we were coming very much out of the mini recession of 2012. So and the huge recession of the Great Recession of 2008. So I feel like the sales should actually probably be stronger. I wonder if the Sharks will bring that up and corroborate that thought.
background is.
I'm a real estate
You
broker.
sound like a real estate.
Sure does. I flipped my first house when I was 18 years old. When I was at college at Texas Tech, I was president of the real estate organization.
Were you really?
So my parents are from Haiti. They worked hard to put me in a very nice private school. All my best friends lived in literally the nicest, Mark Cuban's neighborhood to be exact. Ever since I saw these big houses, I fell in love with real estate.
Okay, Junior, defend your $5 million.
Before you get to that,
let me roll off my lips. $5 million.
how much money have you invested?
Tell me why it's worth $5 million.
We charge a monitoring fee for these lock boxes.
How much is the monthly?
$100 a month.
$100.
That's
Wow.
What?
That's a lot of money.
Oh, guys, Barbara, please educate the
It
guys.
strikes me as a lot of money.
Look, last Saturday I visited 15 homes in a day, each with an electronic lockbox
Right.
on it. The agents just held their phone up,
That's it.
Bluetooth, they
You
get
got
in.
it. But-
So you have one incremental change on that, which is an interface where a user can say, yes, I'll let people in when there isn't an agent there. That's the only thing that you're doing that's
No,
different.
you had to
down.
wait on that agent to let you in, right?
So the only thing you have different is the interface
That's
that
a
lets the
big
seller
difference.
say,
No.
go ahead and open it up.
Chris, imagine.
Well, it's a
Chris,
big difference,
all
but it's
right,
not
calm
necessarily
down, calm
defensive.
down.
Imagine
Let
if
him
you could
talk.
see 5 properties in one day on your own, as opposed to calling your agent. The agent calls the showing company. The showing company calls the listing
Junior,
agent.
Yes, but all that happens, at least here in Jersey, again, because the agent wants to get paid. They need to do the work. I was one anecdotal story. My good friend was doing a favor for another real estate agent because it was like a pair of sisters, and the one sister was using my friend as the agent, but the other sister is using her friend, but the friend was like down by the shore. So it's like well, it's like an hour away. Like I'm not going to drive all the way up there. And so my friend was like, oh, well, I'll do, I'll help out this 1 or 2 times. But then they went to another house and another house and another house and another house and another house. And Paul, he's like, oh man, I can't do all, like, I can't just keep showing up. And then this other agent's just going to get a commission on this. And I'm the one showing up every day. I'm the one showing up at these houses. I'm the one making those phone calls. Yeah, I mean, there's checks and balances that are baked into this. So I appreciate what Junior is trying to accomplish, and to Chris's point, it is somewhat of an incremental change, but I would say that it's like more like an ecosystem type of change, because it's like Toor or Toro, where you rent cars, which probably didn't exist in 2014, or Uber or any of these digified services that we used that weren't digitized prior. I feel like it's a lot of money was probably invested to get to that point. On the software side, it's never as cheap as you want it to be when it comes to developing software, and collecting $100 a month my answer was 20, when it probably in reality should be like $30 to $50, probably closer to 30.
The listing agent calls the seller confirms it. They go back to the listing agent calls the showing company then confirms with the buying agent.
Junior, why can't the company that already has massive market share do exactly this?
If you look at the incumbents in our industry, they're old, they're dated, their technology's old. They have no platform. They're so disconnected from realtors today. Anyone in the real estate...
You can't convince me that somebody who actually has a smart lockbox operated by Bluetooth is old and disconnected.
Our platform is more than just a lockbox.
Literally, the verification part of what you're doing is the easiest part.
My other question is that box connected to Wi-Fi directly, or is it through Bluetooth with an unlock code that's sent over Bluetooth from the device, from the phone? I mean, then there's just so many, like, when you put technology into the hands of people have different phones. If we're talking about Android, there's hundreds and maybe even thousands of different Android phones out there, none of which are on the same, version, the newest version of Google's Android. And I mean, a good chunk of them are not, because even if the software is available for the phone, that doesn't mean that the user has put themselves in a position to or has gone and updated the phone themselves. If we're talking about iPhone, yeah, it's a little bit easier to make sure that you probably, there's a higher percentage chance that those people have an updated version of the software for your software to interact with that box. Specifically, I don't know. It's just, it can get kind of complicated. And while Junior is explaining the back end process, again, that's why you're giving up 6-7% when you may do a sale of a house, because it's being split usually, or close to split between the buyer and the seller agent. That's 5-6-7%, and then that's what you're paying for agents that actually are going to that's what they do. If you're going to get an agent that's like a part-time agent, you're, especially in this market where there's so little inventory, you're doing yourself a disservice. You got to go with somebody who is full time.
We're patent pending the ability to open and close the lockbox mechanically without physically closing, which enables our remote opening and closing.
Then
Correct.
No one else can do that.
You got it.
What?
Correct.
No, that technology exists today.
No, not on a lockbox. Absolutely not.
Absolutely kidding.
There is not a single lockbox out there that can close on its own.
Look,
Don't be so
literally.
arrogant.
I'm glad you like to
I'm
quote
not so
Dan
arrogant.
Rather.
I just know this space, and I'm sitting here watching
fair.
somebody tell us that the state of technology is what it is.
So what lockbox can close on its own?
Chris went to look at 15 homes.
We had an agent take us to half of them. I saw half.
No,
of
that's
my
not what
own.
I asked. That's not what I asked. How did you schedule them? You made a plan to go see 15 homes in
Yeah.
a development. Some of us grew up when we dreamed and inspired to buy a house.
geez.
Junior, you've got the sharks arguing about your business model.
Beautiful.
Now, we happen to have Barbara,
Like we all know it
Miss
better.
Real Estate here. Are you going to give this guy $500,000?
It's a tough call. He's entirely right. It clearly answers a need. They're asleep at the wheel. They don't want the change because they own the market.
Right.
Secondly, you are probably one of the best salespeople I've ever seen in my life.
Barbara,
I
thank
mean,
you.
not only do you know your stuff, you kind of leveled the playing field with this Daddy Warbucks at the end, wearing the fake cowboy shirt.
Oh my God, Barbara, this is savage over here. You know, it doesn't. I imagine that Chris did go see 15 places. I'm sure a lot was cut out of this video to get there, but you know, if you have to call, you set that schedule. And now, I mean, there's so few houses out there that, like, when it comes on, like, you need to just jump on it. Like, you can't even wait for the open house because it might already have several offers there at that point. So it is tough out there. I feel bad. I really do feel bad for anybody that wants to get a house. And then on top of that, you have interest rates, 6, 7, 8%, and going higher, which is horrible right now for everybody to have to deal with that crunch. But yeah, Chris definitely seems to think that he experienced this. What he should have done was probably texted his real estate agent, just whipped out his phone, sent a text. What's the name of those boxes? Or just Googled it at that point. I mean, it's not like they didn't have cell phones at that point.
Well, listen, I like when people create better mousetraps. And this is a better mousetrap, obviously, for your application. But my problem here today is just that it's really, really early. So because you're not ready yet, I'm out.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
I want to iterate Barbara's sentiment that Junior is doing a phenomenal job of controlling the room and even getting the Sharks to battle back and forth there is pretty phenomenal. But if I had, it's $500,000. Lori doesn't generally just shoot $500,000 out, and especially on $100,000 of sales is just. It is too early. It is too early. Like, I guess they didn't even get into the idea of, like, well, okay, on that Kickstarter, how many of you actually produced? Is the one that's there, is that the one? Is that the one prototype? Or of the 800, how many of you shipped out? Have you gotten any feedback yet? What's the outlook looking like? And where's the next sale coming from, right? Because Kickstarter, in theory, is like a one-time thing, right? You do it, you sell it. But when what's that next step? What's that next step look like?
Junior, everybody agrees you're a great salesman. So
Thank you,
the
Kevin.
problem is you blew it by asking for $500,000 in a prototype stage. It's too much risk. However, I'd like to be invested in a damn good sales guy. $500,000 in two components. A Hunsky, $100,000, and I get the 10% equity for that. Then I loan you $400,000. I'm going to charge you 18% for that, which is what you would pay in the market. Would you like to take that offer? Does that make sense?
18%. Oh my goodness. Was it really that high at that point? I don't think it was. It is probably because it's unsecured financially, but nah, man, not 18%.
Sense to you?
I'd like to consider the offer.
You've got to make a decision.
I'd like to consider the offer. I'd like to hear from my guys on the end here.
Junior, I'll save some time. If I knew the real estate business at all,
Right.
I would do something with you. I just don't see a path where I can say, I can help you get from here to here. As much as I hate to say it, I'm out.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
That stinks because that was probably, I thought, his best bet to get 500,000, maybe for 20%, 5. Yeah, probably more like 30%.
So,
Junior,
Barbara, my dear.
I'd like to join Kevin on his offer. It's contingent that we can sell it to a giant chain to buy a ton of these lockboxes.
and we'll both help you do that.
It's nothing but calling all the heads of these firms, all right? Allowing you to make your sales presentation.
You're the best salesman we've ever met.
Yeah.
We'll just get the door open
I
for
still
you.
haven't had a chance to go out.
And you're not. Let's save the best for last. You were testing me.
No, look, the very best products and the very best entrepreneurs are the ones worth arguing with, right? That's what's led to the creation of the greatest companies
Backpedaling
ever.
like the
It's
sucker
back
you
and
are.
No, because that means we're both emotionally invested in something.
right.
We both care about this. I'm torn. You're one of the greatest salespeople I've ever seen, but this is an idea that I think is looking backwards. Let's be honest, keys are going away.
Not today.
Now, Bear Trap, that's gonna be around 10, 15, 20 years. A big public company worth billions of dollars. These guys like that short-term, 2-year, 3-year cash
Junior,
flow.
kick his hiney back to the
So
valley.
look, here's the thing, man.
So it's not going, well, yes, keys aren't going anywhere, but in the back of my mind, I was thinking, like, why not a digital lock that's, Wi-Fi enabled or at least Bluetooth enabled that works with the app. So you change out the lock, but that's not always the best answer, right? Like, people don't necessarily want to go through the process of changing locks. I mean, I guess if you have a real estate agent that will go and do that for you, that's one thing. But people have keys. That's how things are done, which is really seems in my mind, it's like, wow, like aren't they relatively easy to pick? So it seems kind of dumb, but hey, locks only keep honest people honest, right?
Prove me wrong, make me pay 10 times more for it next year, but today, I'm out.
Kevin, to have you as a partner, Barbara, to have a partner in the real estate industry, obviously would be a no-brainer. Here's what I would counter you. $250,000 for 10% and a $250,000 line of credit.
Can we step into the hall?
Yes, if you'd like.
I mean, I think that helps a lot more because
Okay.
there's definitely he's going to need that money for inventory, but also for education, right? Getting it out there and marketing. I was going to say I do like the logo. By the way, I think it was really and the name. I think it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I like both of those.
We'll do $200,000 for the 10%, $300 loan.
Okay. Do it. It's still crazy because it's 18%, but
Deal.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys.
Whoa.
Here.
And I want to discuss it over dinner tonight.
Okay. It was brutal in there, but I'm super thrilled about my partners. I'm ready to get to work.
You make a good point. It's old tech, but there's a ton of old tech in real estate because it's so Sleepy Valley.
I've already
everybody
seen
in
the
there.
new tech
Yeah,
out
but
there.
you're
It's
working
there.
for
I
an
used it
agent.
last week.
No, that's denigrating to him, Chris, because the key isn't the software. The software is the easiest part.
No. Like, Mark, you're not making any sense at all, man.
I'm making total sense.
No, you're not. Where
How
is it
stupid are
making you
you?
aware of that place?
I know this is going over your head.
No, it's not.
Do you
Mark.
think people drive
Mark, you're
down the
making no
street and
sense
look
at
for
all.
houses?
And what
do they
Mark,
do?
The device exists today. It lets you in by Bluetooth
Not
from
in
your
that
phone.
circumstance.
It can
Not
let-
in that circumstance.
With
no.
one new line of code, it can let in anyone.
So in your example, I drive by and I want it now, right now.
With the existing,
Exactly.
hold on, watch.
Exactly.
Shut up and listen. Don't be mad at me that I understand this better than you do.
Ah.
Look, you're saying he's got some special way of getting in the house immediately.
No. That's
And
not-
they're already ahead of him. They have
You can't-
exactly that.
You have to go through
Listen.
the agent to get, in order to get
No, you
it.
don't.
The agent has got to send it to
reasonable
your
sharks
phone.
can disagree.
They walk up, boom, they're in the house.
So what you're saying, what
Yeah,
the
but that's the
agents do, you
agent.
can enable for the consumer to do.
Absolutely.
Right.
Hey,
I get
thanks for
that.
catching up. I appreciate
Except
it.
if you're not using the agent, you don't want to call the agent, and you want to make it available so that
Right
the keys
now.
are right there, and somebody who's comfortable with keys can use it.
But he can't do that.
The traditional lock boxes, why are 1 million of them sold a year?
And why is the other company have millions of dollars worth of sales already doing exactly this? All they have to do is flip one bit and expand their audience, and they
How
win.
do you connect those boxes? How do you connect
Good luck,
those boxes?
guys. I wish you luck getting your money back.
Have a seat, Chris. We all agree we disagree.
No, you got it wrong, Chris.
I sometimes wonder how you made all that money, Mark.
oh my goodness. My goodness. Wow, there's some, I don't know which one of those I'm going to use for the title here. I guess you'll oh man. All right, so unfortunately Toor.today, which cool domain name, is not there at this point. So Toor isn't available for purchase as of 2023. This is from Looper.com. Although the Toor website is still up and showing off how the product works, it's not for sale. If a potential buyer clicks on buy it now, it will redirect the user to a page where they should be able to purchase, but all buying options are marked as unavailable. According to Shark Tank blog recap of this product, the deal with Barbara and Kevin O'Leary never closed. In 2018, Inventor Junior designer. Is that how you say it? Desner shipped the boxes purchased from Kickstarter and partnered with Touch of Modern, but nothing came from it. Although Desner's deal with Corcoran and O'Leary fell through. Shark Tank recap says that Desner stayed in contact with Corcoran. This makes sense since he created Toor initially as a real estate tool, and Corcoran reigned supreme in that industry. Even still, Toor hasn't really gone anywhere since the Kickstarter. In fact, it hasn't been available for purchase since Kickstarter's orders were sent out. With so many lot boxes on the market today, already outfitted with smart technology, it may not be surprising that Toor didn't take off. While the product was clever, it wasn't unique. Recent updates on Desner's life show that he opened up a brick and mortar CBD store with his wife in Dallas, Texas. Movement on Toor is at a standstill with no updates on social media or the website. It doesn't seem likely to pick up in the near future. Well, okay, that's fascinating. I would love to have you come on, Junior, to talk about your Shark Tank experience, the business, and how things are going and all that, and give an update as we've done here many times on the channel. Yeah, wow, that was intense at the end there. I wonder how many more times Chris Sacca was on the show after that, because I remember him being on like in season 6, but I wonder how many more episodes, or how many more, if he was on any seasons after that. After that, heated discussion there. I don't disagree with Chris, but if it was that easy, somebody would have already done it, right? They would have flipped the bit, as Chris wanted to say, and made it happen. So yeah, and sometimes just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something, because now it's marketing dollars, it's marketing, and things that have to happen at that point for people to understand that this is different, right? And you're marketing to a different, like at that point you're marketing to the end user. So you instead, like, because people are driving around. Do people drive around looking for houses? I don't know. I mean, at this day and age, at this point, I mean, Zillow, all these different websites exist. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you're in New Jersey and want to buy a house, reach out to my boy Paul Dariano. I'll pop a link to his website at the bottom if you're in New Jersey. Anyway, other than that, the comment from Blaze says, awesome video. Like always, Joe, thumbs up, 100%. Smiley face. I appreciate you, Blaze, for being a part of the super community and being here with us and watching to the end. It's been such an awesome journey, getting to do these videos, getting to learn, getting to impart knowledge and everything. I again, always be the teacher and the student at the same time, I think is the best way to go and be super. So anyway, I hope I'll see you in one of these two videos over here. Take care and go be super.